Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be talking about some of the patch notes coming in 2 days for fine-tuning Mayhem 2.0 Phase 2, which is coming along DLC 3, coming out in 2 days, guys. We have DLC 3 and Phase 2 of fine-tuning Mayhem 2.0. Now, part of Phase 2 was actually delayed, and I'm going to talk about that to you guys in a second, but basically there was a Bordercast today, which is a show ran by Mitsu and Tasachka that is basically on Twitch and YouTube, so go check them out on YouTube and like their video. The Bordercast is a great show, but anyways, they revealed some awesome things. They basically had some pre-patch notes for us, just like they did last time, actually, on the Borderlands show. So basically, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I do want to mention is I don't think we have the full patch notes here. Like, I don't think they told us everything, so there is still going to be more stuff in the patch in 2 days, which I'll make another video about as well. But basically, let's talk about what we do have. So the first thing on our list is level 60 is now confirmed. There was some rumors going around the community because somebody spotted someone on a level 60 account, and guess what? They confirmed it today during the Bordercast. So we're getting 3 new skill points, and even though we have to farm for gear again, these smaller level cap increases are so that you have an easier time doing it. Considering that it's only 3 levels difference, your weapons are about 30% weaker. Now, moving on, we are going to be getting 3 new or brand new Guardian rank skills, which is very cool. We actually just got 3 Guardian rank skills in the Mayhem 2.0 patch, so the fact they're adding 3 more is very cool. Now, the first one is probably my favorite. This is a brand new Melee and Slam Guardian rank. It is called Groundbreaker. Basically, Melee or Slam will trigger an Aftershock, dealing 25% of the non-melee damage that you've dealt over the last 5 seconds. Now, basically what this means is, in this footage you see me shooting Anathema, let's say I shoot her for 1,000,000 damage in 5 seconds, and then within that 5 seconds, I go and I punch her right in her face. What happens? Basically, we'll deal 250,000 damage. So this seems like a pretty insane Guardian rank skill. And realistically, I don't think it's going to be broken, considering if you're already doing, like, you know, people are thinking if you deal 1,000,000,000 damage, well, guess what? Now I can punch for 250 million. But you already have a build capable of dealing 1,000,000,000 damage. So realistically, I think this is just going to greatly supplement our builds and also scale with them. And this is just a nice way to get Melee into the game more. I actually really like Slayer, and that is the same reason I really like this one. I think it's a really unique perk to add Melee to the game. Now, moving on, we have the second perk called Dead Man Walking. Basically, while not moving in Fight for Your Life, your meter will drain 50% slower. So as long as you're sitting still, flex, sit still for damage, you'll basically have a double down shield on. So that is a pretty cool Guardian rank perk to help people out. Next, we have one called Lead or Alive, and this one, when you enter Fight for Your Life, I believe all your weapons reload, so that is pretty cool, and once again, this will just help you survive those Fight for Your Lives. We have Too Angry to Die, we have Lead or Alive, and we have Dead Man Walking. You really shouldn't be afraid of Fight for Your Life after these perks come out, and if you're using them. So, those are 3 awesome perks, but let's move on to probably the biggest thing of this patch, and the reason for this patch is the new non-gun damage scaling. So I'm just gonna list some stuff off. We're gonna talk about it, but I'm just gonna list some stuff off. Melee, sliding, slam, skill damage, as in like rack attack or phase slam, pets, vehicle, and then they also said several passive skills. They didn't give any more clarification on what that could mean, but basically a ton of stuff that was not scaling into Mayhem. Melee was useless. Mayhem 2.0 so far, if you want to play at the top levels, you need the best guns, and that is the only thing that can really keep you in these top levels. You need the Mayhem 6 weapons. We can't use our old favorites and whatnot. Now, what I find really cool about this is that adding all of this non-gun damage into the game will help builds tremendously. You will hopefully be dealing a lot more damage overall. Realistically, in my opinion, our action skills should deal more damage than our action skill and anointments. And currently it's the other way around. So of course, guys, maybe we're not going to get this right at first, but this is a step in the right direction to making this game awesome. You know, you guys got to remember with Borderlands 2, it didn't get super popular until the game was out for a long time. All the DLC were out. And then they added some more patches after that. So adding in melee action skills, like think about it like this. Every single Zane build will get stronger because your drone can deal damage, your clone can deal damage, and now our grenades will scale as well. And that's one other thing I gotta mention is grenade scaling. Basically, now you can get through Mayhem 1 through Mayhem 10 grenades, and that is freaking sweet. We can run full-on grenade builds with our full-on melee builds. And, you know, even just like I said, overall, a regular build. Someone who just wants to run the best guns and the best gear, drone barrier on Zane. Your drone can deal some damage, hopefully. You know, we haven't seen it yet. Your grenades will deal more damage, and yeah. So overall, these are going to be some awesome changes. Now, what that does mean is you will have to farm for brand new Mayhem 10 grenades, at least if you want to make a grenade build. Now, one other thing I want to mention, there's actually two more awesome things for action skills I want to mention, but the first thing is action skill damage on class mods. So they basically said, you know how you can roll weapon damage, SMG damage, crit damage? Now there will be a stat where you can get action skill damage. Now this is going to be very cool for action skill based builds. And once again, just getting good passive bonuses. Like, you know, I can you know, I'm going to talk about Zane builds because that's my main, but you know, running drone and clone, normally I tell you guys to look out for like SMG damage and weapon specific bonuses, but potentially adding an action skill damage boost could just like supplement builds once again very well. And it's really good that they're adding ways to go deep on action skills, and we want to encourage that kind of thing. You know, maybe brand new shields, like, you know how the old god adds elemental damage, maybe we can get an action skill damage shield. There should be ways to go really deep, you know what I mean, on certain playstyles and strategies, because that's what makes them fun in my opinion. And the final change that they mentioned to action skills at least is they are buffing pet health. Now, one thing I want to point out is that pets are very, very strong in the Guardian Takedown. Zane's clone, even Iron Bear with a Rocketeer class mod helped me get through the Guardian Takedown on Moze the other day, and Zane's clone as well. Or Flax Pets and Zane's clone. I think I mentioned all those. But basically, all of those things, their health will be buffed to match Mayhem. And that is freaking awesome and freaking sweet. Now, that is pretty much it for the updates. One final thing I want to mention, which is we're not sure what they're going to do with this piece of information, but they actually started talking about math. They started talking about how Remnant double dips, ties that binds double dips. Short Fuse actually gets Iron Bear damage, and all this other stuff. We're not sure if they're going to nerf these interactions, or perhaps basically the reason they brought it up was because they are buffing action skills inherently. So if they buff action skill damage with Mayhem, they're going to inadvertently buff Short Fuse. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but actually Short Fuse gets Iron Bear damage. So when you play Short Fuse on Moze, speccing Stainless Steel Bear will actually boost your Iron Bear damage. So if they were to just scale action skills up with Mayhem itself, it would have buffed Short Fuse tremendously and unintendedly, also with Ties That Bind. So bringing this up, I kind of want to warn you guys, if Short Fuse or Ties That Bind is really broken on launch for no reason, just expect it to get nerfed back down. Realistically, we can all admit that Short Fuse and Ties That Bind do not need buffed. Ties That Bind is an amazing action skill. Short Fuse is probably Moze's best capstone. And yeah, so anyways guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I feel like I covered everything. Also giving you guys my opinions on what is happening. Be sure to check back. I'm gonna post a dozen videos when DLC 2 comes out. You guys know I like to go hard on patch days and release days because this is my favorite game. Anyways guys, I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.